In this video, I'm going to mostly look at what can go wrong in forming attachments between parents and their baby. I don't want to sound negative, but knowing what not to do can help you as much as knowing what to do. This video is really about some parents' inability to attach to their baby, and I'll tell you why attachment can break down. But I'll start with something positive. The most critical characteristic in forming an attachment is the emotional sensitivity and regular responses from the parent. Being sensitive and responding to the baby also means that the parent has the time and is able to form an attachment to the baby. The best attachment possibility is called a contingent responsive parent. The parent's response is based upon what the baby needs at a specific time. This means that the parents have the ability to read the baby's signals using emotional sensitivity and respond appropriately at the right time. For example, if the baby laughs, the parents might make a funny face. Or if the baby smiles, the parent smiles back. Or the parents learn that a fidgety baby needs to be rocked or held. Here's the key. The parent gets her clues from what the baby is doing and what the baby needs at any given moment. Babies whose parents are able to show this contingent response form secure attachments by the end of the first year, as opposed to parents who are unable to respond emotionally and consistently. Contrast the responsive parent with the non-responsive parent who unintentionally forms an insecure attachment. Often, such parents are focused on the baby's physical needs, like feeding him, which is obviously important, but don't put in the time with the baby's emotional needs because often the parent doesn't have the time or maybe the ability. Now let's take a look at the different types of insecure attachments and what can happen. The avoidant insecure attachment. In this case, the mother can either reject or ignore the infant on a regular basis. There are numerous reasons why a mother might reject or ignore her own baby. When this happens, the baby will usually move or turn away from the mother when she tries to hold or carry him, and he will not make an effort to get close to the mother, and yet doesn't feel distressed or angry about it. In a nutshell, the baby doesn't show much emotion towards the parent. The baby mirrors the mother's actions back to the mother. The ambivalent insecure attachment. Here, the parent is inconsistently available to the baby. Maybe the mom is working 2 or 3 jobs and simply not available. When this happens, the baby becomes confused and distressed because he doesn't know whether mom is going to come back or not. And when mom is around, he has difficulty settling down and taking comfort in his mother. He can also react in an angry or passive way. The anxiety he feels from the separation from his mother becomes his #1 preoccupation. Because of this anxiety, he fails to attach securely and to explore his world. Let's take a look at the disorganized insecure attachment. Here, a caregiver has often abused the baby, and often one of the parents is a victim of abuse or unresolved trauma. When this happens, the baby shows signs of wanting to get close and avoiding the mother at the same time. There may be other instances where the baby doesn't know whether to approach the mother or not and thus freezes or seems to enter a trance-like state. There are other factors that play a role in forming attachments, such as age and being a single mom or being a depressed parent. In general, older mothers tend to form more secure attachments than younger moms. Researchers have studied the differences between older moms and younger teen moms. They discovered that older moms were less likely to label their babies as difficult. Also, older moms showed more patience in dealing with their babies, which is one of the factors in forming a secure attachment. And it stands to reason that teenage moms had less money and education than the older moms, which also influenced their available time to spend with the baby. Marital status is another factor in the formation of secure attachment. Current research shows that parents who are married are more likely to form secure attachments than single moms or couples who are living together. Researchers believe that marriage and secure attachments are influenced by other factors such as income and education levels. However, married couples tend to have higher incomes than couples living together, less stress, and more time for the baby. Also influencing attachment was if parents had a strong marriage or a shaky one. Researchers studied a group of 6-month-old babies and discovered that the babies exposed to a lot of arguments were more likely to emotionally withdraw from attachment than babies whose parents did not show verbal fighting towards each other. You see, even at 6 months old, the baby has an idea of what is going on around him and responds to the situation at home. As you might expect, depressed moms had greater difficulty in forming secure attachments. What is interesting is that researchers also found out that some babies resisted a depressed mother's efforts to feed them. Babies whose mothers were depressed also showed more negative emotions and fewer positive ones, which of course inhibits attachments between the parent and the infant. Babies whose mothers are depressed later on show tendencies to demonstrate aggression or withdraw at school. Sort of one of two extremes. Researchers found that a depressed mother's behavior can raise red flags. The mothers who are depressed and detached from their babies often showed less affection towards the baby, less contact, and they hold the baby less than average. Such actions contribute to an insecure attachment. Ironically, sometimes depressed mothers are overly involved with their babies. They may interrupt the baby's sleep or overstimulate the newborn. This does not lead to attachment. It does just the opposite. So it is very possible to overdo attachment behaviors and end up with an insecure attachment. This is a very important point for all mothers. Babies need a little time by themselves. Definitely a lot of time to sleep, time to process. In other words, babies need time to chill out. I'll be discussing this further in the videos on sleep. For now, remember that constantly overacting, even with positive attachment actions, contributes to a non-attached baby. Attachment is not about the way a mother thinks she loves her child. It is about the way the baby feels when he experiences both pleasant and unpleasant moments along with mom's response. Everything a mother or father learns about the way the baby responds can be used to help mom or dad attach to the baby with the right response for what the baby needs at that time. Many people may see themselves reflected in an attachment style that is unresponsive and negative for the baby. But because a baby has the drives to connect and feel protected, he will always welcome any change in behavior that promotes closer bonding with his parents and provides him with the security he needs. We'll end on that positive note.